all the world.
This is a piece of copper tube. Put my fingers there so you can just see how thick it is. An idea. Plumbing refrigeration tube that I picked up for next to nothing at a garage sale, unused, and I had a bit left after I created my magnetic loop. It was just sort of in this loop, and I was fooling about with the nano VNA in the garage, and I just thought, oh, I'll just connect up each end of the nano VNA to this bit of copper tube. I've just stuck it on this bit of cardboard so it's a bit manageable just to move around. And what do you reckon the SWR of something like that is? Just like that, with a bit of coax off it, that's about that roll there. And well, look at the nano VNA. Amazing, isn't it? 27 megs, 1.4 at 100, and 3, hold on, that's 28, what is that, 27.9, 6, 390, okay. So I could transmit into that and get a good SWR. Just a bit of rolled up copper, come into a loop here, just conveniently. And that black thing there is just the blanking plug that goes in here, and it's just a bit of plastic. So it's got a bit of a hole in it, so just that, I just stuck that into the hole. It's just sitting there, but absolutely amazing what you can make an antenna out that'll resonate on a band, well, this one on a band that I use obviously, and it's pretty much spot on. So I'm going to stick it up in the air and give it a go. Okay, that's where we're looking at the moment. And this roll of coax that I've just got it more effectively attached to the tubes now by soldering. Unfortunately, my soldering iron, which is a more precise iron, couldn't handle the sink of the copper tube, so I used my little flamethrower on it, and got a bit carried away there and trying to get on the earth one, but yeah, effectively soldered on there perfectly, and we've got the desired result of very low SWR just on this bit of tube that I've got obviously on the cardboard backing, just to hold it securely in one spot, and then just do a bit of experimentation with it in vertical or horizontal orientation, just to see. And by the way, this is not for transmitting, it's for my SDR receiving on 11 meters. Okay, just anchored it all down a bit more securely just with the cable ties. This is more experimental than the final finished product obviously, but just to make it easier to figure out where we're going. And after doing that, looking at the nano VNA on LogMag, it tells me, yep, this antenna is resonant there, I believe. And if we go to SWR, it's looking pretty good to me. Pretty, yeah, high Q, sharp bandwidth, narrow bandwidth, but hey, that's right on 390, so 355, 385, very close, good SWR. As I say, it isn't transmit, but it is a receiving antenna, and so I'm pretty happy. That's what it looks like on a Smith chart, but to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what that's telling me. I haven't got into Smith charts yet, but that's the numbers there. So I think as a receiving antenna from an SDR and 11 meters, it's going to work fairly well. Okay, so we've anchored it down to this piece of cardboard with cable ties and sort of tidied up this area here. It's all secure, so we can move it around a bit. I have tried it out on the lawn, up on top of the clothes hoist, the hills hoist. I got a fair bit, long bit of coax on there, so tried it up on top of the roof, just lying flat on the metal roof. Doesn't seem to make any difference to the highly received signals in comparison to my other CB antennas here on 11 meters. And amazingly, the nano VNA, well, connected to it in here, just sitting in the shack here, is, as you see there, on 11 meters, it's pretty much spot on. I could transmit on it. But also, another great feature, I'm always listening on 40 meters, and they've got a dip there at about 16 right down, and if we go to 40 meters, it's a little bit on the high side and pretty sharp, but hang on, where is it? Yeah, here it comes. On the bottom there, it is actually showing pretty good SWR on 40 meters, so it should be good receiving on the SDR there. So pretty amazing. Admittedly, that is with this CB matcher, antenna matcher, that I've got plugged in at the moment, and if I adjust it, we can slightly tune the 40 meter section there, but the 11 meter section is staying right down there. Yeah, we can tune backwards and forwards a little bit, but I'll stop and take the tuner out of the equation and just connect it back up direct. Okay, this is the tuner out of the equation now with just a direct connect onto the wire from the input to the nano VNA, and this is what we've got, direct. And on 27390, which is where the little pointer stops, it's pretty flat there at around 1.8. So it works pretty fantastically actually, and it doesn't seem like it's not dependent on what orientation it's placed, or whether it's vertical or horizontal or whatever. The signals on the screen there come in pretty much the same. It's a TV screen, so the resolution is slightly limited, but it's not too bad at the moment. Of course, yeah, I don't have it plugged into the SDR. And this is with the SDR plugged back in to the loop, or whatever it is. End-fed I don't know what it is, but it works absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, there is not a signal to be seen except all these noise spikes on the band here. Not a thing. It's been dead all day. Just when you want to get some really good signals coming in so you can get a comparison and what have you between different antennas, I haven't had any luck. It's I heard Hawaii very faintly in the background on this loop antenna. When on my other antennas, it could not hear it on the Super Bowl on channel 6 025. But this actually pulled it in. I couldn't believe it when I thought it must have been listening to one of the other radios that were going, but no, it was on the SDR and it was through the loop. So, but yeah, not a thing to be seen, not a signal to be seen. And I do have it set up to do a live video and what have you, but yeah, not to be. So I mean, obviously the TV is getting the output through the HDMI of the laptop there to come up on the TV. But it's a pretty good TV and pretty good resolution, so it's great to use it for this. But I'm pretty impressed with just this bit of copper pipe that I've just looped around. By the way, this piece of copper pipe is just all one piece of pipe. It actually starts here, starts on this bit, goes right around the big loop, comes back up here, and then just forms the smaller loop and comes back into itself there. And because when I just pulled it sort of out into this shape and I first tested it on the Nano VNA, and it come right up on 11 meters, I didn't bother. I did actually change the size of this smaller loop and move the connections out a bit, see for capacitance and what have you. But how I've got it there, just negative on this end of the loop, which is goes into the big loop, and the positive onto the small end of the loop, which goes into the big loop, and it's 11 meters spot on. I haven't measured the overall length, and I'll do that because obviously it's resonating as a half wave or something. I don't know, I don't understand it really.
All the world